Hey guys, this is Chris, debt-free firefighter. We are starting off March of 2026. I am on a journey to be debt-free by 2033. I'd love it to be December 2033. Honestly, I'd love it to be January 2033. I'm okay if it's earlier than that. I don't want it to be later than that. I want to talk about my tax plan, what I plan on doing with it. I plan on saving it. Saving it. I am super excited this year. I just finished up my taxes. I'm waiting on the government to put it in my bank account. I have a goal every year not to owe money. And I also have a goal that it's okay if I don't get money back. I'm not giving the government money to use as they will so they can give it back to me. But I have children, so I got a little bit of credit because of my kids. So I have a plan. I don't know about you guys, but have you ever noticed how fast a tax refund can disappear? I want to talk about what I'm going to do with my taxes because it shows up and somehow it's gone in 2 weeks. Whether it's you buy a lawnmower, whether it's you pay off a credit card, and then you use that credit card again and go back into debt. So this year I decided it's not happening. I'm not treating this money like bonus money. I'm treating it like it's a tool. So I want to show you exactly how I'm allocating my refund this year. I will be receiving between state and federal $3,410. So this video will explain how I'm using my taxes. Some of it goes into my sinking funds, which I talked about last video. And then you'll actually see in the next couple of videos in March where this plays out a little bit. So follow along with me on this really exciting journey. In March, I'm going to talk about my actual numbers from February, lay out my numbers for March, and then talk about my wins and losses for the first quarter, because I've been on this journey since January 1st of 2026. I've been putting out videos to keep myself accountable, to help others, and to grow. Here we go. $3,410. What's my tax plan? Party like it's 1982, right? No, save it. All right, cool. Here we go. I have a super exciting way I want to spend the first $400 of this. This is amazing, guys. You're going to love this. This is not optional. I am pumping my septic tank. I live in the middle of nowhere. I love living in the middle of nowhere. I have a well and I have a septic system, and my county requires every 5 years that thing get pumped out and inspected. Can't get inspected unless it's pumped out. So last time I talked to the gentleman who does it, we're looking at $400. It's not exciting. It's not Instagram worthy. There's no video coming on my septic tank. That would be not cool, right? Septic tank. But here's the thing, ignoring maintenance is how small problems become big ones, and I don't want that to happen. So first thing is first, I'm going to handle the boring stuff. Get it out of the way. Septic tank. That leaves me with $3,010. I want generosity to come early, not late in my plan, so I'm giving some cash to my family. Really, this is my wife and daughters. Because if generosity only happens when there's extra, it probably won't happen. So if you looked at my February budget, you saw that in there, I actually have giving allocated in there. I don't necessarily talk about the exact amounts I give, but I think I should be a giver. And even as far as my wife and daughters, they live in the house, so they should have a portion of this money. And this is just, we're hitting summer soon, right? So my kids are growing. We've got summer camp. We've got trips to the beach. They need clothes. That's just how kids are. So I want to make sure that my wife and daughters just have some money. They can just go shop, and it's not affecting anything in my budget. It's not stressing me out. It's not like, hey, your daughter needs shoes. And I go, great. Where am I going to find $12? They've got money just to give themselves a little bit of a bump on that. And I'm excited about that. This is just cash in an envelope for them, and they can do with it as they deem best. Now, my wife is really awesome as far as like stewarding money and teaching my daughters and like not overspending. Like, she's amazing with that. Then peace of mind, right? Peace of mind, because that 3,010 becomes 2,710. Peace of mind is going to be an emergency fund, $1,200. You looked at my video last week. You saw my goal is to staff an emergency fund with $1,000. I can do math. That's more than 1,000. So when something breaks, I don't want panic. I don't want credit cards. I don't want financial stress bleeding into my life. Emergency money does not make life exciting, but what this does, emergency money, this makes life calm, and I am going for calm. I tell you what, the best blood pressure medicine is an emergency fund. It makes life calmer. That drops me down to $1,510 left to do with it as I will, right? Okay, cool. Future car stress. Cars don't ask permission to break. They really don't. So I'm putting $600 into a car replacement fund, and I am putting $300 into a car maintenance fund. I can do some maintenance. I can rotate my tires. I can change the oil. I can change wipers. I have a gravel driveway, so there are some things that just are not fun to do, and I'm not sitting in 90-degree weather doing my brakes. Can I do them? Given enough time, I sure can. But honestly, for convenience sake, sometimes I've got 3 vehicles I'm maintaining. I pay someone to do it, right? I do. Now, like I said, oil changes, tire rotations, all that stuff, the maintenance stuff, I do myself. The hardcore repairs, I get help with. But here's the thing. Cars don't ask permission to break, and I want money for a future vehicle, so when something dies, I'm not scrambling. And even as far as car maintenance is concerned, I don't want routine maintenance to raid my emergency fund. That's happened to me so many times in the past. So I'm using this tax return, the government giving me my money back to overcome that. All right, cool. Home maintenance. My house. I don't care if you live in a 10 by 10 tiny home or a 3,000 square foot home. Houses are expensive. $500 going into a home maintenance sinking fund. Yes, it could be combined with the septic fund and be $900, but I'm separating them because I intentionally want to designate money for this septic tank. It needs to be done. It needs to be scheduled. As soon as that money's in the bank, I am calling up Mr. Septic and saying, come out to my house and pump the tank. But home maintenance. Homes are expensive. HVAC, plumbing, appliances, when it breaks, it gets paid, not financed. That's my goal. The most expensive replacement in my house would probably, other than my HVAC system, would probably be a new well. I need to have a new well drilled. That would be multiple thousands, probably $20,000 to $25,000. I don't have that money yet, so I'm working on that. You do all this math, you leave yourself with $110. What am I doing with that? I am going to make sure my family has some fun. All right, I have a family fun fund, the triple F, family fun fund. I just made that up. Okay. Guys, what I've learned from myself and from my family is if my budget has zero room for life, then eventually I'm going to rebel against it, right? And you do it in small ways. Back in the day, it used to be Redbox, right? I'd be like, oh man, I don't have any money, but I've got $5. Let me go to Redbox. And I'd get Redbox, and I'd forget to return Redbox, and now it became $9. And so it's not reckless money. This is just intentional enjoyment money. We've got a couple family trips planned this year. My wife and I have our 20th wedding anniversary, so we're putting money aside for that. This is going to fund that. Every month we do something fun. In January, we went out to just kind of a fun diner with a space theme on it. And in February for Valentine's Day, we went out. I took my wife and daughters out for cheesecake. In March, we are not spending a lot. We're actually doing, I think we're just going to the movies. We don't do that often because I've got a TV at home and I've got every program imaginable. But there's a movie we want to catch in March, so we're just going to go have a movie night. Buy the $12 popcorn. It's okay. But later this year, I think, I'm not going to tell you what April is because I don't remember. But June, we've got a big trip for our 20th anniversary. We're dropping the kids off with the grandparents, and my wife and I are heading on our own. So Some of this money will be used to reserve hotel rooms and take care of that. Every dollar has a job. That's the point. So my tax plan this year is that every single dollar has a job. It doesn't just sit in the bank and I go, what should I spend this on? It's not flashy. I get that. It's just steady, right? I need to provide for my home. I need to protect my home. I need to bless my family. I need to plan ahead. So I'm trying to turn $3,410 into long-term peace instead of short-term excitement. Man, I cannot tell you how many people I've talked with who are so excited over their taxes. And they go and they buy like a four-wheeler. Cool, the four-wheeler's paid off, but they're still in debt. Or they go and buy a riding lawnmower. I did that a couple years ago. It was a horrible decision, one of the worst decisions I've ever made financially. My lawn is not big. It's big enough where I can use a riding mower. I can justify it. But it's not so big I can't push mow it. It might take me 2 or 3 hours, but I can still do it. At this point in my life, I'm not that old. So I have talked to so many people who got really excited about their returns, and then it's gone. Here's my challenge. If you guys are getting a refund this year, don't let it vanish, right? Tell me in the comments, are you spending it? Are you assigning it? I will see you guys next week. Every Sunday, video comes out between 8 and 9 a.m. Please like and subscribe and follow along on my debt-free journey.